hard, nigga. I'm not gonna hold you. To me, for me, this shit is hard. I'm not gonna hold you.
Hold me, you're not going to.
No holds, no holds, no penalties shall be allowed. No flags on the play.
Is it
No
loophole?
consignment.
Is it loopholes in it?
Yeah, that's what we need to know. That's the
Yeah, it
main
kind
thing
of
that we
is,
need
but I
to
don't think they're gonna
understand.
notice it though. I don't think they're gonna notice it until it's too late.
Well, if everyone noticed it, it wouldn't be a loophole anymore. It would be patched.
So we gotta make everybody notice it. So now it's the norm.
Well, then,
It's
if you
not
make
something
everyone notice it,
abstractual.
there'll be a deeper loophole after that point.
What's up,
They'll just
Amon?
push
We're
the
gonna make that
loophole.
one a normal too.
But
We're gonna keep making it the norm.
And they're gonna keep getting ripply, keep expanding out into the fractal multiverse,
The fractalverse.
fractal verse. Makes more sense. Because fractal is already multi. The redundant verse.
Dang. Loopholes and Easter eggs in the reality. Huh. That's wild. Like what would be one of the loopholes though, Theo?
A loophole. Let's see. Let's think about that for a second.
Jeez.
A loophole. A workaround. Usually it's something, a lot of times, I think it's a lot of times like this reality we're in right now. I ain't gonna hold you, not you. We're not in, but no. But this reality we're dealing with here is words. So all these languages have loopholes in them. We get to thinking that reality is the words, and words always have a tricky little. At least English has a loophole in it, like to say never, stuff like that. Like you can see where something is self-defeating. A truth can prove itself so many times up until that one part where it disproves itself.
So the truth.
A lot of science is done trying to prove a certain fact instead of just seeing what happens. Or they're trying to prove or disprove something. And that can skew the results. So that's why there's a loophole.
Disprove something, huh? I didn't know you could disprove something. I'm about to break
Yeah,
this down.
scientists set out to disprove shit.
I hate pre-rolls. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, bro.
They be cheating.
Be that dry hit of air.
Yeah.
Super dry.
Like, well, some of them be cool, but then you get these other ones where it seems like they just put a gang of shake.
And dust and cardboard in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Not
Tree
that.
trunks and shit.
Yeah, not the bud shake, but it'd be like the shake from the trimmings.
Yeah, like the shit that ain't even really crystal sugar leaf. It's just
Yes,
else.
it's like, why you do that?
Plants. You can tell because it tastes like fish food. It tastes like those fish food flakes. I'm like, bro, nobody's slick out here with that. That's the loophole right there, too, that they found.
Please,
Go
if
ahead,
you
Con.
got the time to do it because your future self will thank you for being fluent. Or it make your future self more fluent.
If you what?
I'm listening to this shit like,
If
I
you smoke
think,
a pre-roll,
what, bruh? Like, I'm thankful that I fucking went through and actually slide each little one, like, not everyone, but the ones I had to, like, piece by piece type shit. I'm thankful that I did that shit, because now shit is easier today. That was just last night. I made today easier by just doing shit last night.
yeah, sometimes Con, I'll
what
get
I've
on
been
like
preaching the whole time.
if I get on my guitar and play a song at nighttime, even if I'm like struggling really hard, if I just try my hardest to like be as accurate as I can, even if I play it really slow, then it's like the next morning I'll be able to rip through that song just in that one night.
Hey,
Well,
Theo,
it's like it's the repetition too, you
Mhm.
know,
Theo,
and it's meditation.
I think this was meant for you. Say
What?
synchronicity can feel like Easter eggs in reality.
Yeah,
This
bro.
shit's been
When we
showing me
Con,
reality. Like
you were
just
saying
making the
something
beat
earlier,
has
Con.
just giving me little Easter eggs towards reality, bro.
I was playing
How
this
like
Breath of the
nigga,
Wild.
you don't need one
Yeah.
aspect of your life to move the same pace as this aspect. You don't need that to happen. Like you gonna have all the songs doing the same shit. You gonna have the snare, the hi hat, the drum, all doing the same shit. They don't need to do that. How about they all got their own pace? They all. It's not like for like a whole general for y'all, but it's kind of how I was seeing it. They all got their own little pace. Like they all gonna sync up. The snare could be doing some other shit than what the kick doing, but it all still syncs up. And I'm like, well, I just need to apply that to my life.
They call that the undertow,
Niggas do a lot of shit. It's kind
the
of like, for
gyration.
example, it's kind of like a nigga that you can draw or something.
And
Oh, but you do music too. Oh, but now you need artwork. Oh,
And
now
the
you're drawing
mindset.
kind of thinking up type shit to make artwork.
and the
Oh, you
mind,
need a producer, but you learn how to make beats. And then now time comes, boom. You know what I mean? Like, you're
And
kind of bringing the shit back to the one. Dispersing it, bringing it back
man,
to the
go
one.
look, bro. Go listen to Bootsy Collins, All on the One.
I'm
Go
flexing
listen to that.
simplification
Go
pattern.
flex that Bootsy Collins. It's all on the one, and
Real
then
shit.
he breaks it all. He break that right there all down to you, cause it is all on the one. But Amon said dreams are loopholes that shows you how powerful consciousness is.
It is all on the one, but I really want everybody. We're gonna get our fractals on the twos and fours so we can make this baby swing, keep a deep groove.
Yeah, but
Dreams and synchronicities, though. Yeah, I was having a deep deja vu earlier when we were talking.
a deep deja vu.
Yeah,
Like it continues. It's not just a momentary thing.
yeah.
Like it
I'm
continues.
still in it for real.
I didn't even know we was live, bro. I'm sorry.
But the
Oh, that's all right.
synchronicities, like,
When you started cursing in the beginning, I just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
I said, Kano. I said, you know, we grown here. You feel me?
but
We
yeah,
all
like
grown.
sometimes when you do certain stuff, like hot or cold, you're looking at the sky like, baby, why? No, I'm playing. But you're like, hot and cold. Am I doing right? The ether, talk to me here, universe. And like, you start doing certain things, a lot of synchronicities start happening. Then you do something else, they start stopping. But sometimes I think it's like hot or cold. Once you get closer to God, aka the glitch or the virus in the Matrix, then you start getting a lot of synchronicities because you're getting above. Like this thing, God is like that one thing that's able to do anything.
Yeah,
So
the
I-
glitch.
Not cold. You're cold again.
Forgot to tell you about that
was
second
funny,
part of the
dude.
title of the live. The glitch and the
What's
virus.
up, Big Chill? Einstein.
What's surfing? What's
BG.
surfing, bruh? What
You
up,
been-
BGL?
Yeah, BGL.
What up, familia? Cheers, salute.
Good Grand Rising.
Magnificent rotations.
Uh-oh, K still speaking the language of the woke people.
Over. It's over, Rover.
He said the language
Hey.
of the woke people.
You see, you said a light start glitching. Ka. What you doing? What you want?
Keep your Grand Rising. I don't want that Grand Rising.
Milan, the chosen one.
Keep your
Like,
Grand
but
Rising.
technically, Earth is not rising because we are rotating.
Listen, you can mourn all
Rising.
Grand Universal Travels.
Technically, the travels are not
Oh,
there
shit.
because technically we're in a still point of. No, I'm playing. No more woke stuff.
You see, you keep talking
Stay
about
woke. Stay woke, Theo.
I'm taking out all the loopholes, too. I'm staying woke. All the Easter eggs, baby. I'm not giving what the hand was dealt.
Yeah, stay woke.
Taking it from the horse's mouth. Stay woke. Grand Rising.
How your mushrooms doing, BGL?
Oh my gosh. My jars are ready. I'm just waiting on my vermiculite. I had to order some. I'm so mad. I can't find it
Oh.
anywhere in the city, but you know,
Oh, that's wild.
it's cold up here. But
They
my
don't have
jars are ready to
reptile
go.
stores?
It's just time to go.
Yeah,
They don't have like a pet store or something, a reptile cage stuff.
You got a Home Depot?
Yeah, there's none in Home Depot. I went to 3 Home Depots near me, and there's none.
that's
There's
wild.
only perlite.
Oh,
Michigan.
Everybody
Damn.
know.
nah, Michigan. Everybody grows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. I go
Yeah.
to Home Depot. They got an unlimited amount of it right now.
Salty. That's all right.
Anybody ever did a bucket grow out of a Home Depot bucket or something for mushrooms? I saw somebody do that before.
All you got to do is smile out here and it appears. The Northwest got plenty of vermiculite. Yeah, you can do a
Wow.
bucket grow. Make a slurry, fuck around and have a bulk grow.
Yeah, a bulk grow. Go
I
to
was
the grocery
determined to
store.
work in patience with these mushrooms, so it's okay. Oh, I have more.
Yeah, you
Plants
gotta
and
have
mushrooms will
patience.
teach you patience.
Are you
You gotta have patience.
Yeah, my first one got contaminated. I didn't give up. I just said, all right, let's use this next syringe.
Yep.
Oh, what's up with it?
Found a guy off of Reddit, and he had
That's
sold
what
me
Uncle
syringes.
Terry.
I shipped him
Uncle-
to Alaska first, and then I had him shipped out here because I didn't want anything to happen. So I had a proxy pick him up, and we'll get him in Alaska. Then I shipped him down here to Cali. But I was
God,
determined for that first grow.
So that's
How do you know when it's
Well-
contaminated? Because isn't fungus mold? So
Yeah.
if it has
mold and other.
Yeah, but
Not all mold are the same mold. They
Right.
fight
you
each
don't
other.
want that. You don't want that contaminated stuff.
Yeah, all fungus is mold, but I mean, all mold is a fungus, but not all fungus. I don't know, some shit.
Yeah. Sometimes the equation works, and sometimes
Yeah,
it,
something like that. Something like all fungus is mold. It's almost like my checking in my savings and my savings in my checking. I mean,
All people wake up, but all people aren't woke.
My first grow bag looked like a bag of Skittles, bruh. I tried to be all the hero. Yeah, let's feed it some leaves from outside and get some. Yeah. It's a dude. That shit turn red, green, blue, brown, yellow.
Oh, I can only imagine how it smelled.
Hey, they got this dude who made art with mold. That was dope.
I bet it was.
Oh, the
He
brown
made it with
dog.
mold, and then he looked at it under a microscope. It was all different types of mold mixed together. It was fire.
Said the
The
guy.
The eyes are simply the binoculars for the brain.
But if you look at the mold too, the colors of the mold, like one time when I was like, I guess fractally or whatever, it showed me how, like, you know how squash and stuff, it goes to that patina green. Some of it goes to like that, like when copper erodes, it becomes that green.
Yeah, that mint green.
Yeah. It showed me how within the colors are
It's like humans.
connections, certain connections, like the
What-
decay of it.
And I hear you. And within the colors as well.
The connections.
Mm.
Certain
Right.
depth.
Greenbud said all mold is mold, but not all mold is good, and not all fungus is bad. Sound like humans.
We're moldy fungus.
That's what I'm saying. Look, that sound like humans.
We got that
Hey.
athlete's foot.
Hey.
Yeah, that jock itch or whatever the fuck. I
Said
don't know.
you get athlete's foot and you ain't even an athlete.
Exactly. Yeah, when I was younger. It's like
Hey, as soon as you get your feet wet, bro, as soon as you
Oh,
put your
thanks,
toe in the water, bro, you in the game.
Snail Horseplay. Thank you.
Oh.
You know, yeah, y'all know channel subscriptions is open, so it's easy to get one.
Subscribe.
Hey, I got a quick question. Hey, Einstein, would you think the binoculars? I mean, niggas, eye. Would you think the eyes are the binoculars for the brain, or do you think the brain got like its own set of binoculars, and the eyes is just like some
Well,
like
it's kind of like
some
a
low
two-way.
graphic?
Instead of so imagine two binoculars attached to themselves, like the part that your eyes go on. You know, the smaller scopes or lenses are touching each other, and they're both, you can see infinitely on both sides. You know what I'm saying, on both pairs of binoculars, but ours is a little foggier on the external ones due to DNA and all the other evolutionary stuff. But the ones going back internally, those are infinitely expanded. Till you reach God.
Also, what if you had more than the what you just asked? Because like, not for nothing, within hearing you have sight. You can hear someone walking and you'll see that before you see it. Within touch as well, there's sight. You can touch something without seeing it, you see it. Tasting, feeling, you can have like those premonitions or whatever. There's sight that comes with that as well. I don't think
everything has already happened. When you are experiencing it, that's, there is a slight delay of the process, or you reacting to it or sensing it. Like your senses are reacting to a past event. So you take that with a grain of salt. But we're experiencing things that have already happened.
Yeah, Amon said, what do you guys think? Amon said,
sure
what? Oh, go ahead, Ali,
sorry.
my bad. No, go ahead. Go finish, because I thought y'all was.
I was just going to say, even when he said with a grain of salt, how many people pictured a grain of salt?
Oh, I picture some sand.
Same thing.
What grain? Damn. I picture the
same crystal.
He said, what do you guys think the purpose of this simulation we call life is? For me, everything points to love. Yeah.
Oh, just to be. Like, to be.
Yeah,
like,
to be.
But to me, it's to the point to where there is no, the purpose is to not have a purpose, just like to be an experience type shit. You know what I mean? Because if let's go with the theory that, hey, when you leave here, you go see a higher self. There is no time. You don't really care, or any of those emotions don't exist, because like you're not bound by those no more, or those don't affect you how they affect us here or something like that, or those, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool. So maybe some people get sent here to like tip off certain effects, like a butterfly effect. They're like, I just came here to get on the bus and inspire this dude to make a car. Or wait, I said that mad backwards, but you kind of get the theory. And just to kind of just be human, I feel like we give ourselves like a task, and then we kind of think that task is like what we here to do. Some people just got like a thing where like, yo, bro, I just feel naturally, I feel good doing this. I think this is what I should be doing. And then that's cool too. That's valid too. But we're just making ourselves or giving ourselves stuff to do.
That time
you know what I
being,
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it'll
being
be cool.
human.
Say life has a purpose, then we say everything's already predestined. Like you said, everything, all the meanings add up. Then we see what the purpose was, but then it's never done yet.
Last part. If we are God too, right? If we are God too, and it's like, hey, I want to get to know myself better. Almost all the stuff say, hey, look inside to get to know yourself better, or everything is inside you. So if I want to see my own stuff, for, let's say I think red is red, right? And then I gotta like try to step outside of myself to see that. Not even like astral project or none of that, but just to see my point of view from a different point of view. And I think a good way to do that is to express yourself as everything that can be. A fan, a chair, a bumblebee, a tiger. When you express yourself as all of these things, you get all of these experiences to know yourself on a more deeper level, whether as a plant, as a chromosome, as a cell, at any point we can even think of, even a circumstance. You get to act as a circumstance. You don't even have to be subjected to this one item. You could be a whole situation happening. And that whole situation is a thing that's like an experience that is experiencing itself. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, this is what these people over here would do if this would happen over here. Okay, that's a thing. Okay, cool. Or that's a possibility now. Cool. It always been a possibility, but it's just like introduced to its awareness or something like that on the forefront.
All the probabilities playing out at the same time.
Big Chill said.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Big Chill said, true that. He said, true that. Some people have no purpose. Just PCs, just filters, no purpose. He said, nonsense. Everybody has a purpose. Just don't know it.
Word.
Basically, God said, I'm going to expand myself into every possible state, condition, and possibility possible.
Everyone.
So I feel like we're all just mutations of God. We're fragments, but we're mutated, from a single God. Whatever the lowest form of nothingness is, we evolved from that first one that was pure God, but still something at the lowest form, and we just infinitely expanded. And that's what everything is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's every expression that you imaginable. Even the ones you don't imagine, but other people do. Every expression that you can think of, every form, every idea, every sound, every God, that's just crazy.
They say if you know too much about predicting the future, you might be the one creating it.
It's crazy because it's like, how, bro? It ain't even how. I think Exile said that's not how. I think it's like who, or it's like what? I don't forgot the question, the answer.
Why?
Yeah, why? Like not even why, because you can see the why. The why is because of this. The why is because of that.
How?
Yeah, the why is the how.
Sometimes you can see the whys. The whys are really hidden. If you look at the how shows you the why as well.
Yeah.
Like you reverse engineer it backwards, like why did this person do this? I don't know. How did they do it? Oh,
I know.
they had
Because we get to think that's the hallucination of emotion right there. To think that there is a why without a how. Why would they do that?
Nah, yeah, the how.
Why wouldn't they do that?
Because this is how it happened. Their molecular structures, they tensed up their muscles to move that action.
Yeah,
that's how.
It goes
I was just thinking, imagine you just existing. You're in different, spaces, realities, whatever. For who knows? Maybe the last time before you were reincarnated or incarnated, if you're a first timer, long time listener, could have been 1,000, 100,000, 100 million years. You just really got bored or said, okay, there's only one way out of here. You got to jump into a body. But maybe we just get bored sometimes and come back,
Yeah.
We just feel like, hey, fuck it.
Yeah, but we like.
You did everything. You did literal everything or experienced any possible, state that your soul can reach under God or under source. It's like, okay, let me do the human one again so I can just try something different or, get a better outcome or maybe ascend higher.
That's that Alan Watts philosophy, bro.
That's what the Archons want you to think.
Oh, go ahead, Wild Man.
He said the Archons want you. That's what the Archons want you to think.
What if we are the Archons?
Like how it always look like it's about to touch the edge, but it don't. It just go back and it repeats the whole cycle again. That's what I think this kind of like is, because it's like, hey, what would be the best way in theory to make something perfect? You make it always have room to be improvable. That would be the most perfect way. You can always adjust it. You can always build upon it or something. If it's just perfect, I mean, it's just capped or limited. It's just, hey, that's everything or something. Everything comes after everything. You know what I mean? Like everything is before everything and after everything. And last part. I figured this out last night. You know how they say the call is coming from inside the house? You know what's so funny, bro? You're in the house trying to call yourself and you're not picking up the phone, bro. I just figured that
The
out.
lights are on, but nobody's
You
home.
are calling
He
yourself
said
from inside the house.
the
The
call
killer
is
is inside the house.
the call
You
is
are
coming
the
from
killer
inside the house.
You are the house. But the thing is, it's like the lights are on,
Call
but nobody's
yourself.
home. The phone is off the hook and the dial tone's just ringing.
Yeah.
To make a call, please collect 9. It's like, damn.
So imagine a game with unlimited terabytes, unlimited bytes.
You have to simulate it.
You said a
When you
game
come
with
on this
unlimited
one, this is like
bytes.
picking up a new save game or a new save state. This whatever life or reality. When you die or if you journey trip out, maybe you're just pausing this game, or you know what I'm saying, or you're in between save games.
Yeah.
And you die, one pauses, like your permanent game save. This is there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's beyond space and time. But existences could be like, oh, this is my new, profile or my new, avatar on this new save game. I'm just gonna do this one until it ends, and whenever that one suspends, you pop out and you go back to your permanent,
Yeah, but
open
then
world.
now,
You change that.
now
Go ahead,
you
Allie.
need a why. You need
Got
a
the
why
full
for that though.
Hey.
You need a why. You got some hows, but now you need a why. Why would you do that?
You constantly changing your avatar right in this reality as you go. You constantly updating it and changing it and forming it into your why or your how or your
No, into your who. That's your
into
who.
your who.
Yeah, to
At
become
the
love
same
and
time.
acceptance of
And
it.
And
If
then
we
there goes the
accept
ego.
something,
The idealized self and what we think of ourselves. That's your ego.
something we accept about ourselves is like part of us.
Yeah.
I guess the Rick Simpson oil, y'all.
You gonna take all of that? How do you?
No, I got some from the dispensary.
The Ricky
Something in the
Simpson.
syringe. It's the full spectrum Rick Simpson oil, pure cannabis Rick Simpson oil. It's so sick. Comes in this syringe thingy.
Yeah, that shit's hard to pull
Look.
out. Oh, you got a lot.
This is
It's a lot.
yeah, he got a whole pen.
I mean, I
It's
guess
all
I
about
can
that Roberto Sanchez oil.
What you do, you just spread it on the blunt and then take 2 drops.
No, you don't want to
Yeah.
smoke it.
You
You want
can
to mix
eat
it
it.
with food.
You can dab it.
All of it.
You can put it in your blunt. You can do all of it.
All of it. That's what I was
All that.
doing with it. But Amon said, as God, you are all knowing. So the idea you are coming here to learn doesn't make sense. When you take psychedelics, love seems to be a big part of the other side and seems to transcend every dimension.
At the same
Because
time, though,
people
all
here don't
knowing,
even know how to love. So,
the only way we know the all is by continuing to know forever, since the all would be infinite. So there'd be new ways to love and accept ourselves.
I also think, bro, that like the all is the all-knowing, but we're the part. It's like the all-knowing forgets on purpose just to go on the journey to try to remember. Like,
No, I understand what you're saying with that, though, Mark, because it's like your fingernail forgets it's you until that motherfucker pop off by accident and start bleeding. And then it's like, oh, shit.
Hell.
It's like, but momentarily while you moving, it it's not paying attention that it's even part of you.
right. And I also think it's complex, bro, because like we're all individuals that are like individual, and the all-knowing is the all. It's no longer individual. So it's
Yeah.
like as an individual, we have the chance to like learn and like grow. It's almost like our soul can grow. Like
But that,
like it can grow into something.
yeah, that's that. But that's what I think Amon is saying. Like, if like, what does it have to grow? If it's already everything.
Oh, you
Like,
send
as
that
any
so you
small
see how
place
many
inside of
experiences
stuff.
you could like outcome with type shit. If you know everything, right? What is everything? Nothing. So you see how much of everything you can make, so you can know everything. So that is nothing. Okay, boom, boom. Actually, scratch that. I'm gonna use a mycelium network, right? We cannot see, or like if we just look at it, like, hey, there's a 1 point on here. Any point could be a 1 point on here, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say there's 1 point, and then it branches off from that. The farthest you go perceptually, the farthest you are from the one type shit. Perceptually, even though you're still connected, perceptually, the farthest you are from the one. We still can tap into like the concept of oneness or the Akashic records or the all-knowingness, or we can do all of these things. We do all of these things, but for some reason, we want to be like, we want to express ourselves like this way or that way, like as an individual, like how Mario Dreams was saying, like we all individuals. So it's like, I'm all knowing, okay, cool. But what if this tiger was over here and it got over here? It still already happened, but the way we experience in this time and space, it's like some linear shit, or it's like some perceptual linear shit, or like, hey, these are a bunch of possibilities. I think it's the way we kind of experiencing it with the, like with our body and our mind, or our forefront, or our like our consciousness, or something like that. I think it's how we experiencing it, because a lot of people say once you go up a dimension, there is no time, there is no space, everything is just there. Everything, you know what I mean? Everything is just there.
Yeah, it's infinite. It's infinite possibilities. The possibilities
You feel
are
me?
endless.
So I'm like, I think we just here for a journey or something. Like I think we're just like one of the thoughts that's just thinking and communicating with other thoughts. Like I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, but
I
like
do understand,
when you
like,
think
it don't
of
make no sense, bro. How?
When you think of those thoughts, though, Kyle, when you think of those thoughts, though, look how fast those thoughts come and they go. They come, and be gone.
Not for gods. Gods know all. For humans, they come and they go.
I think and I still believe we came up with the concept of what God is.
Yeah.
We created that.
And sniff on the ether.
And then we built upon it and put everything on God's back.
But that's why you could say God knows nothing, because it's not like God knows it as we as a human would dwell on it and think of it over and over. It's like knowing all means to know nothing, because you're not just knowing one thing or another in detail.
I
one.
feel you on that. Yeah.
Hey, did you say put it all on God's back?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. The picture of the nigga that's carrying the world, and then you know how they be like, you put the world on your shoulders, you put the world on your back, but like, who? Like,
head.
I'm just making the connection of like the nigga is a man carrying the world type shit. It could be a woman, it could be anything, but it's a picture of a man. And it's like you put it on God's back, and it's like, well, God is man, or man is God.
Yeah. Like that's what it shows. It shows it so much. That's all I see now. And I don't know if it's, I ain't saying it's true or not, but that's all I see is it all shows that man is God. Because man is the one that created God. But the sense that we put God in as being this force or this man in the sky or whatever you want to claim God to be, you're the one that's saying God is all these things.
Which is why that on your shoulders, what's on your shoulders? It's your head. So these things that you created in your head, on your head, carrying it with your head.
And I'm not saying God ain't real, cause God gotta be real.
No, it's also it's so complicated though, because like God can mean so many. Like if you say the word God, you get like 100 people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them will agree, but a lot of them they'll have a bunch of different answers of what it is.
Yeah, not my Jesus, Mark.
For people in the desert, right? Water is their God.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's really that thing that sustenance that sustains you.
That's how they did it as they went along. Like, man, as we progress, different things that was being fruitful to us in the time we put the God thing on it. It didn't matter what it was. If it was the rain, we had to make it a God and give it a name. Oh, the thunder, we had to make it a God, give it a name.
It's like if we have a plentiful abundance or something.
It's nature as well, but then now men are also God.
Yeah.
So you go to work and your boss becomes your God because you don't want to be fired.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
and you cannot serve two masters.
Yeah.
Well, you can.
The kings and the pharaohs.
No funny, bro. I think people kind of don't keep going when they. I think when I be like, "Hey, I'm God," people just be like, they just bring up their perception and their belief system of what their version of God is, and then it's like,
Yeah.
nah, you're not that. Like, it's not that. But it's
'Cause
like,
anything
I
you
didn't
think it
say
is
that I
is
was
limited.
different from the fan over here or the lighter in my hand. You know, like we never expanded on this. We just kind of stopped at you are not God because this is like not. It's not calculating with my reference system. We just stopped
Yeah.
right there. But I never said I didn't acknowledge like, oh yeah, but I'm the same thing as this fucking bong. The bong is God, or the paper is
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
The damn cloud is God. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like it never get expanded on. It's kind of like quotes. You say half the quote, and it's not even a quote, but it's just like people don't never finish the quotes type shit. Like you're jack of all trades, and then they just leave it.
Yeah.
But I think it's
a
like jack of
context
all
thing.
trades or master of. I forgot master of
Master of
sun.
not just one.
It's
Yeah.
like that
It
quote
says
is gonna
master
mean
of one.
something different in every different context you say that quote. It's gonna have different implications. And if you follow the implications, they say that's like the Easter egg. You follow it forever, it reaches everything.
Yeah.
Really don't.
I said that's why I be like tripping because I said there's nothing that can't be worshipped or take the God status. There's nothing on this planet that can't take the God status. Right now it was the Stanley Cups. Did you see how they was fighting over them Stanley Cups? Did you see that shit?
Stupid.
What the fuck? It's a furnace.
He was-
Craziest thing.
They did the
Aliens.
same thing with the Yeti mugs.
Aliens. They gotta be aliens.
It's
They never stop.
customizable. They're expensive, and white ladies love them.
they love them.
No, they
Bro,
don't.
some TikToker had like a Mickey Mouse doll, and they started selling it for like $1,000.
What's up with it, Gnostic Chief? They had a what? A Mickey Mouse what?
A Mickey Mouse doll or plushie or some shit, whatever that is, and they're selling them at Walgreens, regular shit. But then it became popular online, so they sold out everywhere. They're like selling them for $1,000 on eBay.
Yeah, that's what they was doing with them Stanley Cups. They was go buy 3 of them, but then sell one for like $500. I'm putting this on eBay
Nigga said this on eBay.
right now. You say God
How we gonna get
has-
things pumping today, True?
He
Hey,
said-
hey, True, did you see the comment that I left on your cousin's thing there where you said he got signed with LA? I
Yeah.
said maybe it's about time the Raiders will get a Stanley Cup.
Ah.
I did it purposely
That's
so
what-
people would respond and say, "There's no Stanley Cup in football."
Yeah.
You know,
Hey,
do
hey.
know there's no Stanley Cup in football. just
I
in
know,
case you
I
read
know,
that.
but what's funny though is the Raiders play like they playing for the Stanley Cup. They
what I'm
not
saying.
even in the football game. But that's
They
where
like
everybody.
football looking hot, man.
That's what they said though.
Congratulations
They
to you,
gonna
man.
yeah,
Congratulations.
that's my little cousin. They saying it's kind of cool because hopefully it'll step their defense and shit up. I'm like going, yeah, that's gonna be dope though. But Amon said God has cultural baggage attached to it. It's better to call it infinity because that's what you are at your core, infinity potentiality.
I was just no funny. I swear to God, I was just thinking about that. Not like that, but I was just thinking about something. I think we're just awareness. I think we're just like a view. Like how you get a view when you look at something. Like, oh yeah, I can see it from this point of view or this point of view. Not even perception. Yeah, we're just a perception. It just like points to view or awareness. That's why you can kind of see the future or see it this way. Or I think
Like
we're
that
just awareness and
square?
it just shifts everywhere.
Like that square I was telling you about earlier, remember?
Oh yeah, with the square and the
Remember,
cube.
look, it's a square. But then you put on the little lines on the side. Now it's a cube.
Yeah.
Square. Cube.
Cubes,
The
man.
cubes. Hey, that's trippy because it make me think of that mushroom trip where I was like this giant eyeball, and I forgot what I was zoomed in on, but I was just this giant eyeball with a little tiny body. The body was small, but I was looking at this thing, and then it was like all these other eyeballs around me looking at that one thing from every angle, and you could see it I could see it from every angle. It was fucking trippy.
That's that perspective. The 6 and the 9. I stand over here, you see a 6. I stand over there, it's a 9.
Wait, isn't that seeing things from the third dimension? Because we live in the third dimension, which means we see things in the second dimension. So what you did was travel through the fourth, making it the third was what you see.
No.
I don't know, Cryo.
Because he said he saw it from every angle, which is how mathematicians describe how we would see the third dimension as fourth dimensional beings.
Mathematicians don't use drugs.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
they
I think
do.
Some of them do.
They use different drugs.
I should say yes, we do.
The Gnostic chef said, I like that idea of infinite potentiality, but would that qualify as all knowing or all experiencing? Knowing all things are possible, but still having to experience them are two different things. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the thing.
All
If you
knowing and
know
all
something,
being.
like knowing can be a technology which take you into experience, but knowing and experiencing are like two separate things. They say if you experience it, that's like reality.
Yeah.
Knowing about it before you experience it is like delusion.
Yeah, because if you know about some things, you're not gonna want to have the experience. Nah, I ain't going to. I ain't doing that because I already know what's gonna happen.
So you have the all being and then the all knowing.
Yeah.
Because you have, if you look at it, that's the other spectrum, the all being. Sometimes it's being and they don't even know.
Huh. Wait, here we go. Another one by the Gnostic Chef. You're gonna have to just come in the Discord. He said, I agree with the word God is culture. Belief is something typically involves a level of understanding or awareness, but it's possible for people to believe in things they have limited or no knowledge of.
Yeah, belief is wishful thinking. Knowing is like.
The crazy thing is, though, I think the word God, even though it has all this stuff attached to it, I think it's one of the things that explains it. Like, because you can say other words, but they're missing pieces of the thing.
Concept.
And like, I guess the like Native Americans, they called it like the Great Spirit or like whatever. And even that reminds me of like, I forget who just said something about awareness, but it's like conscious, like the main consciousness of the universe. And it's like, that's why we're all like part of it, because it's like that consciousness or that energy. It's like you can replace it with the word energy, like the main energy source of the universe type shit. But like, yeah.
It's the mainframe.
Yeah, with that, even with that, that's when you say the main energy, it seems like that even takes away from it. But it but it don't, but it do in a sense. But I would think the main energy, because
Look at life, like that's looking at every all-inclusive. Even it's like the mind works in such a way where if we try to look at reality, we'll be like, okay, we'll look at reality, but I'm over here. Put this stuff behind me real quick. Yeah, that's not there. But yeah, look at this.
The Gnostic.
The more is there, it's like.
What's up, Gnostic
Some
Chef?
subtle ways we can hide reality sometimes. Just how the mind.
What's up, Ego?
Ego.
Ego.
Hey, that's the thing about words, bro. You'll never be able to fully convey what you want to explain or translate. You just try to use reference points as much as you can that best describe what you're trying to convey.
And it's weird trying to even convey it to people, because a lot of times when you dropping it, they already got a different picture of how they look at it. So it's like you could say one little word that will send somebody's mind in a total another direction that you probably ain't even thinking of.
That's why they say words ain't designed to like make us learn something we never learned before. You gotta go beyond words.
Is your mic on, Chef?
Is it? I'm not sure. Is it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we hear you.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it was a cool little topic you guys brought up. Something I was just talking with someone like 2 nights ago, whether or not you could believe in something without knowing it. And then that idea just was like resonating with me, and it seems like it kind of fell into it here. but
Would you
I
say you
just
can
barely got into the conversation, so I'm not sure exactly where you guys are in it.
Oh, just whatever, wherever you take us, we going there.
Yeah, wherever we, we go wherever.
I like
Only
it when the
you,
wind
man.
blows. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah, like
driving.
culture, right? Like all of the idea of culture, all of our ideas that we have of God were given to us for the most part, at least in my opinion. For ideas that I usually give out, it wasn't any inner connection that I had found. Those are all things that I found later on in life and out in nature and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it seems to be more or less like a collective agreed upon thing, you know? Like if you're going into a circle saying a different word, like you guys were saying, God's just a word. Like I could come into the circle and say dog and still mean the same still have meant the same thing, but because I didn't use the correct term, I could be castigated outside the group.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting how we all say we want to, you know, like get together and kumbaya and be nice, but then if someone comes into your circle like a truther community and then they say circle or flat, that can totally just destroy everything
That's
that you think about the
exactly
person.
what I was
Man, we
saying.
been through it all here, man. We survived it all. Nah,
Hey, that's
not true. I
exactly
gotta
what I was
disagree with that.
saying. No,
We're
he's
cool
not.
here.
He's not saying
Oh,
here.
I'm not saying you guys in particular.
Yeah.
I just mean in
Other
general. I'm
communities,
speaking
He's
in
not
general.
saying here, Big Chill. He's saying just in general. That
a
is
lot of
how
people
it
here
be.
disagree, but we know when to shut up and we know when to debate. I'm just saying, speaking for myself, of course. I don't speak for nobody.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
what
it's
he's
beautiful.
not saying here. He's not
We
saying
love
here.
everybody here, man.
He's
Respect.
saying, and it happens here sometimes, but
Right. We all are gonna have it happen eventually, and we can pretend we don't, and then that's gonna be the thing that continues to create it.
yeah.
Because that's like I think part of where the subconscious starts to like get aggravated and starts acting out is whenever you start pretending what you feel isn't real. And instead of accepting and compassionating those feelings and moving past them, you're going to manifest a demon.
Yeah.
And that demon will then become something that you have to let go of. And that thing, when it gets let out, might not be looking good to some other people.
Yeah. And we
I
create.
just thought about something real quick. The word demon, bro. The word.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Cause I was thinking like demon. I know there is no A in demon, but it's like it sounds like demand or some shit, or like demand or something. It's
I
kind of
just
like
heard amen too whenever you were saying it for some reason, like amen just with a D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amen.
you know what I mean? Like that. Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was trying to like throw out there. I'm thinking like when they kind of associate, hey, this was God, these were angels, it's kind of like, oh, a higher version, or they kind of, I don't think they're doing it on purpose or this is a thing, but this is what I'm kind of seeing. They may like reference like a higher version of them or a higher force or whatever, but the man is like the lower version because we're in the physical or something, not like we're low or high, but compared to a light, to a materialized body, like that kind of aspect. So I'm thinking, oh, the man is a man, but isn't it Damon actually? Or
There in Greek, there are diamonds that are informing voices that are spirits who are tutelary. They'll teach you about
It
magic
sound
and
like-
sciences.
It sounds like demand. I demand your ass.
And those are spelled Daemon.
Hey, Gost,
Or
you think
DAIMON.
those were demons that appeared at the Miami Mall, not aliens? You think they might have been demons? Those three shadow creatures?
Right, like the interpretation. I don't know. Did you guys see?
They're crossing
Did
over.
you see that last year there was the same exact thing had happened at the same mall?
Nah.
But the idea of the aliens is the new version this year. Okay, so last year, same time, they had a same exact kind of scenario pop off in that same area where there was dozens of police cars that had showed up. If you go to that local news station, if you go to their local news station page and then you go and scroll on their YouTube, you could find the video from last year, and it's literally almost verbatim, exactly the same kind of script. It's pretty interesting. Except for the alien part.
Never heard of that one. Remember the Las
But yeah,
Vegas,
it could be
the Mexican in the backyard. That was crazy.
And all these things never had no video footage, no real video footage of it.
Lots of footage, man. It was out there. They just killed it.
There
If
is
you caught it
another
on the first, it was on
that was
Reddit. It was
the
on
alien
4chan. You know,
in
it was
the
a
demon.
round trip.
What is
Okay.
it?
I got a question. I guess would it matter what the interpretation was, whether or not it was alien or demon?
Yeah.
No, but since
I
the
feel
river
like it
Euphrates dried
Oh
up.
wait, hold on.
Alley Cat trying to say something.
Alley about to say
You just-
something real quick.
Go ahead, Allie.
Okay, all right. So when we think demon, right? Even if grammatically you try to break it apart, you know how in Spanish it's like something de la muerte, de meaning of. So if you break it apart that way, de man, of man, or when you're decarboxylating something,
Hello.
dehydrating something, demon. So it's an ambiogram. The
Yep.
demon of man and without man.
Look at my Spanish side kicking in. There we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
What
but
I'm talking about.
that all goes back to that spelling, though, right? Like the idea of these words just being spells, and spells can only be affected on those that understand the spell, in my opinion. So if I believe in the hex, then I might go ahead and foresee that hex go ahead and manifest itself out in my life. But if someone says some stuff to me that I don't believe in, you know what I mean? Or is that
Yeah.
not landing?
But it's like, what is not a
that's real.
spell? What is not
No,
a
no,
spell?
yeah.
What everything's anybody that we say are spells in order to create these different things within each other.
Right, same like with God. The word God can be a spell. Just the idea.
But even the word spell is a spell. What's a spell? A spell is like what's the common denominator? You're changing one thing form to another. You're transmuting. So is chemistry. So chemistry and physics, those are spells too.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think
think
that's
what we
why.
call spell is like a fear of loss of control.
I think that's
Hey,
why I be
now-
saying
Right.
that gooey
No
stuff.
funny nonstick. When somebody or when I ever like get into a debate with somebody, like, I remember one time I didn't know what semantics meant, right? Someone was like, "Nah, bro, you just semanticing, bro. You just doing
Right.
You hit me with mad descriptions, but I didn't know what the words meant, and I'm just sitting there like air passing my face, like, "What are you saying? What are you?
Right,
What
yeah.
are you saying? Like I have to
Right.
know what you're talking about in order to receive that. Like I understood what you said when you said that. I gotta know
Yeah.
what you mean. Like maybe
Right, so
not
you
all
took
the
no
time. Maybe I
offense.
could just throw influence out there. But I gotta know what you're talking about to even consider like taking offense to it or something. Maybe it could be the tone of your voice that I could like, oh, this might be offensive. I don't know what he said.
Yeah, there
but
you go.
talking
Yeah,
about
that's
something.
true. They do
But
say
it's like,
90%
I
of
gotta know
language
what
is
you mean.
unspoken. It's true. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. That your reptile is not going to kick in and open its fat mouth if you don't understand. You know, like there's those times. You know what happens when you grab the back of the neck of the snake? What happens? He opens his mouth, right? He just opens his mouth.
I mean,
So if
that's how you
someone grabs you by the scruff of your neck and they're telling you some shit you don't want to hear, sometimes you open your mouth with something you might not mean.
listen. Reactions, right? Those are reactions. So you're gonna have a feral reaction,
Piss her off.
quick draw reptile reaction. It's different reactions, and they serve us well. Okay.
Yeah, through time they have. Through time they have.
You can't condemn it and be like, oh yeah, reptiles are evil. Da 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 da.
Oh no, you just gotta understand your reptile so that
Yeah,
way
you
you
gotta
can
understand the
compassionate
reptile.
him. If you can't compassionate the reptile, you'll live your life hating.
Yourself, hating yourself because
Right. That's one of those things that I think is funny. People will preach the idea of do one as they do to others, right? Do to others as you do to yourself.
Yeah, but you
And
can't.
then
You see, that's fragmented because you can't do that unless you do the first one, which is knowing thyself.
Yeah,
And
or
then
love thyself.
after you know thyself,
Yeah.
then is the other one, do unto others as you like done. Because if you don't know what you like done to yourself, how are you gonna treat others that way? If you don't know how to love yourself, how are you gonna love someone else? So
Yep.
knowing yourself, those are fragmented, but it's domino effect. One comes before the other.
100%. 100%. Nobody realizes it. That's why I was bringing it up. Is that they project the love to the world, but without loving themselves within, and then that's just adding more damage, in my
We can
opinion.
either put lipstick on a pig or we can put
It's
wings
more
on a
pile up.
snake.
It's more pile up.
Yeah.
You're trying to fashion over function.
Lipstick on the pig. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because like if you don't know how to love yourself, right, you're gonna go watch the TV, and the TV is gonna be like, well, for someone to love you, they X, Y, Z, whatever. Now you're gonna copy paste that, right? Expect that on someone else while you're not even. You didn't put
And
in
then
any work.
if we apply that to truth, it's like only by correlation we can see love, then we'll be limited to a very small portion of what we would call love, even if it's not. Same with
Right.
truth.
It's like letting somebody else set your standards of what you think you should be loved as, or you know what I mean? Instead of just like loving yourself enough to be like, oh yeah, this is how I care for me, or this is how, boom, or oh, I saw on
Was it
Facebook
the
that
chicken or the egg?
he don't love me if he don't buy me a Porsche or something. It's like you just
Right.
let like somebody else just set your standards. Because you don't even know the standards for yourself. You didn't even give yourself standards.
Because at
You
any
just let
given
somebody
moment,
else
all we're
set
doing is like we have ourself as kind of like the other. At any given moment, we're treating people, include whoever we're with, if we're only with ourselves. So it's like the chicken or the egg comes first. I think it's just however we're being, our state of being is going to determine how we're treating.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then
True.
there's no middle ground. So you've never established yourself, your likes, your wants, your needs, your dislikes, your what you don't like about yourself, whatever. So you don't establish that, and then when the people come in and out of your life, it's like you're changing according to the situation. You're changing according to the people in your life. There's no middle ground. So now when everyone fucks off, you sit there, you're gonna be hollow.
You still got the love though. You
It's
still got the love, man. If you
don't
love,
know
you
why.
love. Not hollow if you're full of love.
Oh,
man.
but I did all
There's
heart.
more love for everybody. You never run out of
at
love.
the right time on the holidays. And
It's always love.
Some call it
Man,
an
I know
empty
people-
heart or
Love you
broken
guys,
heart.
more love.
I know
Others
people
call
that
it
didn't ran out of love before Big Chill.
Love life and life will love you, man. Love life and
Nah,
life
they
will
just
love
forgot
you.
where they put it. Yeah, that's right, Big
Yeah,
Chill.
they
just
did.
forgot
I'm
where
gonna
they
put that on
put
a
it.
t-shirt.
too.
I'm gonna put that on
They
a t-shirt.
did, but when they went looking, their jar was empty. Their love jar was empty. It was over.
That was a different jar, though. That was really their crack jar. That's why they lost their love jar.
Love is like
got
Red
like
Bull,
a-
man. It just
I'm on
regenerates, man.
right now.
Love
Hey,
is
maybe that point that when
regeneration.
they love ran out, bro. As soon as they love ran out, was
Never
the starting
kill love.
point for them loving themselves.
You never
Like,
know. They could have had a
doing it,
turnaround, and later in that character's story, they might have, since their love ran out, they're able to see, oh my God, I'm able to love
Some people's
again.
love is
Like,
different. I agree with you.
you
Amon
gotta lose
got
it to get it back.
Amon
Some
got
people's
another
love you
one.
don't need.
Amon said,
Yeah, because
Like if you in a crack
ahead.
house and the crackhead showing you love, giving you rocks and shit, get the fuck out of there, man. That
Hey,
ain't some
man,
love you want. You
that's-
don't want no love from a crackhead.
that's
I'm
free.
just saying.
That's free crack.
I understand there's different types of
You
love.
ain't
But
gotta pay
Just
for
listen to Steely Dan and lay
and life
back.
will love you.
Wait, hold on. What DJ Khaled got? DJ Khaled got another one. He got another one.
Hey, Amon said the two mysteries of life for me are number one, who do you think created this infinity? And two, since infinity is one, is solipsism true?
Why? My
Say it,
question is,
say it.
why do you
How
think
can there be
something
infinity?
was
There can't
created?
Making us
Why
crazy.
isn't it just is?
Wait, what did you say, Ego? Because it was too many people
Just say that
talking
again,
at one
bro.
time, bro.
My question is, why do they think that it was created rather than just being?
Same thing.
What gives them the perception that something was formed by another being rather than it just being itself?
They can't accept nothing from nothing.
Yeah.
They have to
Yeah,
have
those are two
something.
different ideas. That's crazy. Yeah.
That wouldn't
Because
be.
there's one idea that there's a creator and another idea that there was no start, technically.
But
You
but
know?
if it was the name, like even if it made itself and it created itself, ain't that still created?
Yeah, but when did it
Yeah.
start the
It's
creation?
more like
Is it ever
an
possible
amoeba
for the?
in the pool or something. I feel like that's generated. You know what I'm
It
saying?
seems
I
to
mean,
me
it's
like
like it's self-created. It's not like a man in the lab like looking
Nah.
over the amoeba and like implementing things into it. You know.
No,
It's
ego,
a,
you
it's
were
a different.
created
I
from your
feel like
mommy and
That's
daddy.
it,
Bro. You were
yeah.
created.
But that shit don't make sense
How do you
though.
know that?
That it doesn't make
But
sense. Cause it's like we don't, or is it we just don't know the beginning of it?
Well, something had a beginning, but then before that, what made there an empty space for there to be a beginning, anyways?
Right.
I mean, but, I
If
mean,
there was nothing left, I feel like even if there's less than nothing left, there's still a spark of some type of like. Obviously, well, some people have
There's
experiences.
something.
it's something.
But
Nothing
yeah,
is
it's
something.
still an awareness.
Now
But,
what is
it's like, you
what
know,
is solipsism again?
solipsism is the idea that everybody's an NPC in the universe, and you're the only one that exists, and you're God, and
Yeah.
everything's just an illusion.
Yeah,
No
that's
one else has that same awareness
Sounds
like you.
interesting.
that's true.
Sounds interesting.
That's true.
That's true, but it's true for everyone. We're all that one
I
thing.
know, right? It's true for everyone.
But it is true, bro.
It's true.
Yeah.
We don't
Yo,
want
it's
to
like
admit.
two parts to this though, bro. It's like two parts to this. It's like, okay, one, right? We only be measuring measurable shit. You only measure measurable shit. And then the way we naturally think, like start to end. What if there's just like a whole nother point in this shit? You know what I mean? Like if you're a shadow, how can you even conceive the 3-dimensional? You know what I mean? But we just like, oh no, it's just this to this. I think since we like an upper dimension, oh shit, hold on. The toy started. All right.
I
I
think
think
we
since
do
we like
that.
a higher dimensional of the like the 2D, we can see like there's a start to an end. But since we're not like a 5D looking or 4D looking at a 3D, we don't look at it as like, oh yeah, there's mad points in here, or yeah, there's different aspects or stuff like that. So I kind of think we think like beginning to end kind of thing, because we can see that from the lower dimension, or we're able to see that on the
Yeah.
lower dimension.
Yeah, I think each aspect of us got its own, world within the world. Like and each
Well,
one
we
only
think,
see
well, we
that
think in
small.
like a
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
well, we think in like a third dimensional way, like from like you said, from like beginning to we think in a 3D way because we're 3-dimensional beings. So being third dimensional beings, we just kind of like think from our perspective of the third dimension. So like a higher dimensional being might look at it differently, and instead of looking at it like from beginning to end, because like we have time, and time affects like our perspective of what we think just is.
Like also, if you think of dimensions, not only like the geometrical dimension, well, kind of, yeah, that too, but how we bounce off of everything in the universe like electricity so quick to create a reality. And it's like a frequency, we're going at a certain frequency to create this density of our awareness bouncing off of stuff. So if everything here happens as cause and effect at a certain rate, then what if we speed everything up or slow everything down up until I think it reaches the same point where everything happens at once and nothing happens. But it's like that thing could never be diminished or stopped. It's just always been. And it's like I think some people here might have had an experience like where they've been there and had that memory. Like it's obvious. It's just like, yeah. There's no thought. It's just like, here we are. This has been it.
Yeah, density
this
is
has
probably
been
a
it.
better word to describe it than dimension. Dimension is
Yeah.
almost like saying illusion.
We just in a room with 100 mirrors. That's why y'all kind of feel.
We always say just because we say illusion don't mean it's not the illusion. It's not real.
But if you look at
We
Right.
was
dimension,
just talking about that.
Right, just because like your head's the headset to the reality, and you hallucinate what you see because your eyes are rendering only so much of visible light anyways. There's a larger
Yeah.
spectrum of light that you can't see. So yeah, like so you hallucinate everything. Everything that comes in through your eyes is now shined onto Plato's cave, and then you render your reality through those shadows.
Yeah, but the light coming in, it only comes in depending. You see, your windows is built, but your eyes are built on your understanding.
Yeah, but what about people with blind sight?
They have more understanding.
No, I know. I just mean in general, there's people that can see without an ocular nerve, even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh, wow.
you could. So okay, I wanted to say about the word dimension. So dimension could also be translated as parameters. What are your parameters? You see what I'm saying? Because if
you're setting limits.
Yeah, you look at architecture
with spells again.
Exactly. So you have.
Well, it's also.
I'm sorry.
No, it's also like because in the dimension there'd be like rules to every dimension in a sense. Like the third dimension has a certain layer of like rules to it, or another dimension would have a certain layer of rules.
But it's not really like there's an energy
Yeah,
in
like
that
she
dimension,
said.
which makes the rule that it can't go to another. It's just that if it has that quality, we give it that name.
Each one has its
Right.
parameters.
That's the illusion.
Yes, they're parameters.
parameters.
They're not, everything is in motion. Speed. So it's not set, it's not absolutely quantified. So it's just quantified somewhat. But
with time, space-time.
Yeah, and without the understanding of physics, the light coming into your eyes now limits what you think you're seeing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the physical effects, has effects, but your understanding is what opens your eyes more to receive light.
But ain't that some shit? The physical effects have effects.
Yeah, on the mental, which is projecting it.
Yeah, hey, bro, are we even thinking about like not we, us, but like when people describe the universe, and they be like, what was the start of this universe? Like, what universe is they referring to? Like, 'cause there's spaces in between this universe. Like, even in front of you, as soon as you move, you just move through like 1,000 dimensions. You know what I mean? You just move through hundreds or infinite dimensions. And it's like, well, what you mean? What would be the, not like any of y'all asked this, but what would be the start? Like the start to where is the start at? On what layer? On what layer is the reference point?
I mean, like, are you saying like they're all like connected in a way where it doesn't matter like what you do, that you're still moving through these multiversal possibilities?
Yeah,
it's like string theory. That's string theory, right?
Yeah, like string theory.
It's almost like
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's string theory and then there's E8 theory, and I'm definitely a fan of E8 theory over string theory, but both of them are kind of getting to a similar thing, right? Where like this whole thing is like a projection, and then there's like parameters to it, and like they're all because quantum physics thinks in dimensions as well, so it like thinks in this way. So it's like it's kind of all getting to the same type shit.
What's E8 theory though?
E8 theory is the idea that first I'll explain string theory and E8 theory.
Okay.
String theory is the idea that if you kind of zoom in with a microscope deep enough into like your cells or the cells of reality of the physical world, you'll start to see that it's not physical and that it's made out of like atoms, protons, neutrons, and electrons. And then it's like, what are they made out of? They're made out of these things called quarks and like a few other things that I forget the name of.
Quasars, quarks, quasars.
Yeah. And then you go deeper than that, and string theory says that there's a bunch of vibrating strings, and each different string vibrates differently, so it causes, the reality to just kind of be what it is. Now E8 theory agrees up to the quarks and the quasars and that, but after that, E8 theory says that everything is just a piece of E8. E8 is like this giant, like it's like a lattice, like
God.
an eighth dimensional ball type thing. What they say, it's like an eighth dimensional point graph, and a point graph is complicated to explain, but it's just this thing where they kind of put a bunch of eight dimensional balls in a bunch of things, and then the points of those eight dimensional balls become the thing that it is. So it seems like E8 is like this thing that holds the whole thing together. So they're saying that the protons, neutrons, electrons, all of these are just little pieces of E8, like an elbow of one of the corners, or
Yeah.
whatever, and they're all little pieces. So like this is the E8 theory, and it's new. It's definitely newer than string theory, but I think it holds more weight. The obviously the quantum physicists will explain it better than me, but like they definitely I think it just holds more weight to what they're saying, because they say that this dimension is a quasi crystal of the higher dimension. And a quasi crystal is like there's a shadow, you can have a shadow on the wall, and the shadow is like a quasi crystal of your hand, because it's not exactly the same shape as your hand. It's deformed, it's bent, it's just slightly different. So it's like a reflection of your hand, but imperfect. So like we're like a quasi crystal of the higher thing, and it just keeps going down from eighth E8 all the way down, and that's E8 theory.
So that
What?
means water, when we
Yo.
restriction and refraction, water is definitely in a different dimension.
I got a quick question. Because I had a theory like this, or it was some. This sounds very similar, bro. I called it the water vapor theory. I don't care. I called it the water vapor theory, where all the universe. You know how when the sun heats up the water enough, the water vapor goes into the atmosphere and it forms the cloud, right? Well, you know how people call it universe or the potential realities bubbles. I was thinking we are like the bubbles in a water vapor type shit. We are the bubbles in that shit. And then all of those bubbles sound like, I'm not sure if this is a theme, but it just made me think about it. It sounds like the eighth dimensional balls that he talking about. And they all fit. It's like pouring balls inside of a glass type of shit, but the glass is just like infinite space or something. You know what I mean? And then from there, I don't know where it goes. In my theory, it kind of just goes up into a cloud until it gets oversaturated or something, and it unifies to the perception of oneness. But the oneness is, you know what I mean? Like the cloud is the one because all the water vapor goes into that one thing or something. Kind of like that.
Yeah. So those balls.
Okay.
Imagine if those balls, right, of water vapor, it's like it has all the information. It's following the laws of physics, you know, condensation, precipitation. So we are like that, but each of us have the information, the laws of physics, chemistry, biology, or whatever, to that one mainframe, right? So each ball is its own Earth as well. So that's what I asked you.
Yeah.
So that's how each perception makes up that one mainframe. And that ties in string theory.
That EA theory. Yeah, that's fucking trippy.
What he said, as her 8.
I gotta look that shit up, Mark.
I was about to say there's a couple documentaries I've seen about it that they kind of explain it really well.
Post them in the general.
Yeah, post them in the general. And Amon said the fact is you are always trapped in your own It's a lipstick bubble for eternity, and you can never prove if other something like you.
Tell Amon to come in the Discord.
You can prove it. Each of us live in our own world. We are in our own world.
Yeah, your own world.
Our own fucking experience of this. Yeah, we get together, and that forms the set, the mathematical set theory. You know, sets of action, sets of, you know, whatever the connections, and then but we're all, it's your own sphere, your own circle. You know, my world might be, look, it's raining outside. To me, it's beautiful. It's just a bright sunny day. You know,
Rain, go away.
But I think what he's saying, Alley Cat, is he can't prove if anyone else that's other than that is actually in the same position as you. Even though you could correlate it, you could never prove anything.
prove it's all. If you can't prove the same thing, then it's different.
Yeah,
Well, I think proof is nuanced because if you
it
say
proves
proof and
itself.
truth and stuff,
It
like when you
proves
make
itself
yeast,
to you.
got to put the yeast in the water, and the yeast bubbles up.
Oh dang, I think
Only you're baking the bread.
we must have did something interesting today.
But yeah, people get to thinking. Like, I think that's what we were talking about. If you see the truth beyond words, then to someone else that would sound ridiculous. But to you, you might know something beyond words. No proof can never give, but it's still proof to you.
To you.
But even then, to prove, to tell yourself, I told myself so. I told me so. Joke's on me.
What's up, Vitamin E?
Hey, what the hell you?
What's happening?
Yeah.
There's a quote. It says, those who couldn't dance, I don't remember it precisely, but those who could dance were called crazy by those who couldn't hear the music. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of people not gonna hear yo music though. I think we all walk to a tune. It's always a song playing within us that we just walk to. I ain't gonna lie, I think this shit is just like we think we doing something, but in reality we ain't doing shit. It's the thing.
Tell them again, Joe. Tell them again, because they don't know what go on. They just run off them beak.
We think, and like I don't care, like as far as you go in thinking that you did this or you did that, it's like it wasn't even you doing that. It was doing itself. You was just flowed. You just flowed into. You was just flowing it with it or in it.
Dang, now I feel so unaccomplished.
Is that air you're breathing?
Ain't doing shit.
Find out what's important. You start, covering your nose and covering your mouth, and you'll see, how important this body really is.
Yeah, and that's another. But that's just another flow. That's a flow within the flow, because whichever way we think that we going or how we feel about the situations or how we feel about what's going on, it's been done before 1,000,000 times over in different ways to make it keep looking different over and over again, but it's still the same thing.
That's why they said, do you want to become something, or is the journey destination? Do we want to have a choice? If we're just everything's the same, then we could flow through anything, or
So
for
true.
what reason, or what would we want to?
I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you think you could only do everything once?
What you mean, do everything once?
Like, you know how you said
No, that's it. Look, okay.
No, I'm saying, like, you know how you said
Like everything is happening once, right? Everything is happening once. Now, you can go and jump out a plane, but to me, I can jump out the same plane, and it's my experience of jumping out that plane is just going to be different than yours.
So did it happen once or twice?
It just happened once. But
That's why I asked if you
but
only do
the me that is everything looked at it from every aspect. They said, okay, I'm a human jumping out of a plane. Okay, I'm a bird flying past a plane. Okay, I'm a bug flying past a plane. It looked at it in every which way that was possible. But each one of those ways, it looked at it as the individual thing it was, as it was being the plane, flying the plane, with the people on the plane, and it was being all of them. But it's it looking at it every which way that you can think of.
Right, I understand that.
That's why each bubble is its own world.
Yeah,
it's like something could happen identical down to every molecule except for one tiny change, and it still wouldn't be the same.
That's
what
why
do
I
you
was
think about?
Alley Cat for president.
It is very
in air, so you're still in my world. You're still, if you're experiencing, if you're alive, then you are part of what life is.
Yeah.
So you're not in your own world. You might be perceiving that, but that's just a fallacy.
That's why I was like, that everything only happened once.
But it's your fallacy.
But if you are the fallacy,
That's what we're talking about. Reptile brain. That's what he was talking about. Putting wings on a snake. You can see things from the lower level, or you can see things from this higher connected level.
Yeah.
It's really up to you.
Yeah, and
It's all
in
up to you.
all in
But-
between, because you have the canopy of the tree, and then you have the in between.
It really
and
up
then
But the thing is,
what you call you, but if you're seeing who you are, you don't know who it's up to until you see it. All right, stop.
It wants the individual you to look at it from its own perspective, because it's judging from its own perspective. It's not judging it from the perspective of a bird or a bug or an ant or a cup or so that's why each one is being its own thing as it's being experiencing this thing, because I think that infinite thing that is seeing all these experiences is it's making that thing create more or create something else or keep adding to in order so it can experience this thing that is called life in every which way, as a planet, as a rock, as as space, as a solar system, like as everything.
What can't it be?
What it can't be is itself.
It can't be staying the same for too long, I guess.
It has to be itself. You mean it can't see itself?
It is
But
itself.
itself is the one being. There is.
What's up, Eric?
It's getting real complicated right now.
No, it's
not complicated. I understand.
No, I'm just saying to say self and self in the same sentence is like self-defeating.
Yeah.
No, I was just kind of joking.
You just did it again.
It is like
self-defeating. Stop. See, that was a figure of speech, Shiva. That was a spell. I mean, don't worry about it.
I mean, Alley
I'll
Cat
take it
kind of
literally.
said what's going on, and true, both of them combined is what's happening.
Well, everything here is part of that thing. It's like we kind of think we step back and look at it, or we're putting something on top of it.
Yeah, we look, bruh. Come on now, you don't just like your shit without seasoning.
Hey, true. You
I
know where
see.
the problem coming from? The problem coming from everybody looking at each other, trying to figure out who the fuck are you? I know who.
Are there a
who
problem?
That's
Everyone's
what's
seeing their reflection in the mirror.
Yeah.
So why is there a problem?
Yeah.
Who said there was a?
Like, why I'm gonna take it for
There
face
do be
value,
problems.
man? That's shit. I like to put a little seasoning on my shake. You feel me?
I got a question that kind of pertains to the subject now and earlier about the alien Miami Mall thing.
Yeah.
Because I've asked people too that are in the camp of not believing in a god but believe in aliens and things like that, or the camps that believe in a god and dismiss the idea of aliens. And I present the question as if a said being shown itself in the sky and started speaking or whatever, and it was just unknown to you, would you consider that to be alien or God?
Damn.
And both camps will usually say they think it's alien, or like they'll say, like the alien camp will be like, oh, it'll be an alien. And the camp that believes in religion or God will say that, oh, they'll perceive it as God.
Yeah.
And I ask them how they're able to separate it, and there's usually not a clear indication. Do you guys, what do you think of that?
Say something to it. I think there's definitely a difference between alien and extraterrestrial, one, but in their mindset, their concept, just like True was saying earlier, all our perceptions and concepts, a lot of times we don't even know the difference between these definitions and words. We just establish a new definition in our own mind. So what God is to people is like, when you start talking to individuals, God is different to everybody. So it's like an alien, first of all, it's already coming from the earth. Only thing that's God-like or floating in the sky, and you got to question whether it's God or not, it's something that's like outside of our solar system. You get what I'm saying? So I think people.
Yeah, but the question is, how do you separate it? So like you just separated it, right?
How do you separate?
How did you separate it? Yeah, how are you separating those two ideas? Like how would you, in the sky, if you've seen something, separate it from extraterrestrial or terrestrial or God with just a visual aid? How with your eyes looking into the sky at this object are you able to, I'm asking like you personally, able to discern if that is an alien object from extraterrestrial, interterrestrial, or God?
When you, well, I'm going to answer it, but can I ask you one question? What do you mean by God? Like,
well, that's why it's a word, right? It's a
Right.
thing. Like the descriptions of God that have been relayed through religion would be a thing that manifests itself in the sky,
right?
Right, and then
Yeah.
in a scientific perspective, it would be alien would do the same thing. It would come through the sky, maybe in a ship of some sort, perhaps, but it still would be a description of an object in the sky, right?
I think I would base it off of its intelligence. So basically, like a godlike figure to me, in a sense, is that is a very good.
Intelligent, all seeing.
Intelligence.
Yeah, so like, because that
if
would
it's
be the
coming out the
same
sky.
exact, that like what you were just about to say would be the same exact description of a superior extraterrestrial.
Right.
You know, is the
Right.
same description of a God creating being that's
Right.
able to know all things, you know, travel, do all these things that are far superior to our knowing.
Right.
So that's why I always propose the question in that fashion, is because I don't know how personally I would be able to separate it.
Yeah, I don't
with
know.
all of the cultural biases I have.
Yeah, I don't really know either, to be honest, because I think everything is God. But
yeah, so
If you think about it though, right? Going back to definitions, each group, they're that I don't know what's his name, chef something, Gnostic chef. So each group that you asked, right, in a sense, by definition, their ideas are alien to each other.
Yes.
So
Right.
anything in the sky will by definition be alien to us. If you look up
Right.
the definition of alien, you know,
well, not
the same-
necessarily, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah, to alienate, you know, we have alienated ideas down
Right.
And that's only based on a cultural or collected idea or bias, right?
words,
Well,
definitions.
Gnostic chef, Erica said God is all energy at all times. There is no separation. You can say negative and positive energy, but even that is still energy. So
Right.
Yeah, but the distinction and
Right. So if Erica felt that thing, if she had felt that thing that she's describing, right, and she was sitting next to Neil My Ass Tyson.
You gotta come to the Discord and say that name because I can't.
If they were sitting next to each other, they would
he
both
knows what he's
see
saying
the
now,
same
like
and
that.
feel the same thing, but they would be described. They would describe it differently.
Right.
They would both feel and see the same exact shit, but then both have a total different description of what they saw.
Exactly, based on their understanding. Based
Right.
on
So that's why I ask people that, because I feel like it's a good way for everybody to kind of get into the same group and then say, okay, well, yeah, I guess we're all kind of just describing the same thing, but
Yeah, I
we're
guess-
just arguing over what we call it.
That's
Like,
it.
the circumference of our awareness.
How you say Azim? I don't know how to say that.
On the individual,
Azim.
we definitely see things like that. But I think there's definitely a collective consciousness that we do all hold to a
Oh, yeah, I
degree
agree.
because we come from it.
Yeah, there's like a
Transformers.
But that's the you see how
More than meets
okay,
the eye.
when you ask Booker about God, right? He said something along the lines of intelligence. But then that girl took it to a common denominator and said energy. Do you see the difference? But it's
well, you'd have to like qualify intelligence. Do you consider a cell to have intelligence, or like where again you're going to draw lines in sand,
But
and
no,
then
what I'm
we're gonna establish camps that everybody has to be like, okay, well, this is what intelligence is, you know.
that's
So
my
then we
point.
come into the semantics again.
That's my point. When we break it down to just energy, cell may or may not have intelligence, but it has energy.
I think
That's what I'm
has
saying.
intelligence. I think energy and motion has intelligence. So maybe when it's sitting and it's dormant, it doesn't
Or it's
think.
the same. Like
That's
maybe energy, intelligence, awareness. It's like it's just that one shit.
But exactly. So like, at the same time, even when it's dormant, I think that's the only time it's not being intelligent because it has nothing to do.
That's why it would just be an
Oh, no, you can
alien.
become something
Why
that's
wouldn't it just
dormant.
be an alien god? Like,
Well, alien god, that's kind of like going to. It's like you're trying to like put a name. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say right now, but
yeah, I mean,
alien god.
The only way out is through.
an alien god of energy.
That's
Of
heresy.
infinite
That's heresy,
energy.
sir. That's heresy.
An alien
just
god
another
of
word.
infinite energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go. And intelligence.
I mean, but only in the sense that, I'm in like a veil is up in the sense, like you know what I'm saying. We all have that veil.
And even if something is dormant, it still can have intelligence.
Oh yeah.
Intelligence is
Even if it's
not but like
slept on,
awareness.
it's stepped on like a landmine or a doormat.
Just because like we can't see the intelligence or the awareness like happening of the thing or shifting over the thing, don't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, you
Well,
could
when
dream to be a
go
mannequin
ahead.
type shit.
Yeah,
for
just
real
look.
weirdness and-
Yeah, look
you
at
know
your
what I mean?
stomach. Just look.
Hold
Just
on,
look
can
at
I
your
just-
stomach and ask it what it's doing.
When you said,
Oh, it
when
tells your body talks to you.
Just
Your
telling me
body-
to eat the
if you're
yummy
quiet
food.
enough, your body will talk to you.
When
Like
you
when
said-
somebody, you may have somebody who have like bad intentions, your stomach could tell you something or something like that, or maybe your thing would do something, your arm would jerk, or certain your body
Yeah, it's like-
communicates with you.
100%.
If you're really
100%.
quiet, yeah,
You
you
don't
like,
have
oh,
to-
what's going on here? This feels weird. Why am I feeling
You
so
don't have
weird?
to. You don't have to remember for your heart to beat. You don't have to remember for each of your trillion cells to do cell mitosis.
Right, all those things do it on their own, right? You don't have to. Those intelligences work without you ever being aware. And
But
then
listen-
the idea. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, because he was speaking towards the comment that I made about it being dormant. Maybe I described it wrong, but I'm talking about some sort of, not that I'm being right now, but I'm talking about some sort of stillness. And I heard you mention some form of movement. You was like, it was basically more about not seeing it, but it being there. But I'm saying what I'm talking about is not even active.
Right.
Oh yeah.
All of
Like
those
let's
things,
say we look at a
if it
mannequin
exists,
and then
it
we'd be like,
vibrates.
that is unalive, or that's not even doing anything. But every time, millions per second, there's like infinite amount of consciousness that's like shifting through there, whether they
Right.
having dreams or experiencing parts of the mannequin or something. Like we just look at it and be like, you're not doing these checklists of characteristics, so you must not meet the requirements. Yeah, you don't join the club of being considered sentient or alive, or you know what I mean. But like,
Yeah.
I'm only saying this from the observation of me having a dream with the shit.
If you can be a TV or you can be, people have like psychedelic trip like this, like, oh yeah, I was a damn car seat, or I turned into the car seat. I didn't even think about moving because I was a car seat. I forgot I had legs or something
Yeah,
like that. So I'm
but the
like, well, people must be watching me all the damn time. They probably
know,
shifted all throughout this bitch. You know what I mean? Like through all this stuff.
right, but
Who knows what the Christmas tree thinking right now? That's still up. Nigga, why am I still up?
but you're still talking about movement. Like when you say a car seat, that's an image, that's a movement, that's energy, that's a thought. I'm talking about no thoughts.
The absence.
Yeah.
There's still movement and stillness.
Right, yeah, because if it exists, it vibrates, right? That's like,
Right.
but yeah, the idea of no thought would be just absence, and then that's like kind of the idea of what it was before their conclusion of the Big Bang. So I
Even
don't.
if
I mean,
it
I'm not
was,
sure.
And where
it's
does
still
it?
that one Easter egg in there, that one loophole. It's like, even if there's stillness,
That
there's the
one
thought of
Easter
stillness,
egg.
which is one little vibration.
True enough. True enough.
What's up, 719? Oh, this, I think this was for Gnostic Chef. Erica said, yes, cells are conscious and intelligent. Cells work nonstop. They know their
Right.
jobs.
Yeah.
That's why I brought that up, is because I'm in a book now. It's called Brain Energy. The doctor's fantastic. The book is amazing, and they talk about metabolism and their mitochondria being the whole root to all of our mental illnesses and things, anxiety, all the different things as you spoke. If you have a bad feeling of someone, you'll feel it in your stomach, and if you don't believe, your stomach has just about half as many neurons and synapses as your brain does. So it's basically a second brain. So I mean, yeah, it's an amazing system that we have that is collective, and we all want to pretend that we're individuals whenever we have a symphony of organs playing a harmonic music to make our motion. I mean, it's beautifully symbolic. And
But even some of those cells, though, they're conscious, but they still follow a code. You know, but you have special cells like stem cells and other cells. You know.
Right, and the ones that go rogue, they become things like cancer. So when we see
it can become cancer, but cancer, it's just like carbon. Carbon can be cancer. It could be diamond.
Yeah, but the cells that refuse to die end up becoming a cancerous thing that replicates. So when your cells refuse to die, it becomes an issue for the body. And I think that's part of the beauty of why your cells die, is because they understand it's necessary for the thing to continue.
Apoptosis.
Hey,
for transformation.
Cancer got to live too.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
death
cancer
is
a good person. He
but
just
think
means
about
well,
it.
but
Think
Right,
about
it's
it.
just trying to live.
Your body is producing something, a forever something. You know, something of longevity. So maybe
when you say
like,
forever, what do you mean?
cancer continues. It grows.
If I'm not
Right,
mistaken, everybody
that's how
got
it
cancerous cells
multiplies,
already. It's just when the cancer cells get viewed as
that's
a
what I'm
big
saying.
ass
You have
group setting
malignant.
type shit, that they be like, "You got cancer," but everybody already has
Yeah.
the cells.
You want to
Yeah,
avoid those
it's
maligma
cells that
tumors.
refuse to die. Yeah, cells that refuse to die.
Which is crazy because you have part of you
body
part of you
refuses to.
trying to live forever. You know,
Right.
trying to die.
I think the problem is that we try to live forever when we already do.
Yeah, when we
That part.
already do.
Yeah, if you turn those cancer cells around, there you go.
The try is the veil.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like hoping
Well, what
for
if
something that's
oxygen?
inevitable.
What if oxygen actually just is poisonous and it kills you? It just takes like 100 years to kill you.
It does.
I think it does.
No,
What
it
if
really does.
oxygen's like poison and
No, it really does. It
I
does
think it
show
does.
that. There's a
No, yeah,
document-
oxidation. Yeah, no, oxidation. I'm only halfway joking. Oxidation is the key to all the degradation. So yeah, it totally makes sense as the oxygen being an issue. But yeah, I'm halfway
it
kidding.
says
But
at the end of your life because for those people on lung capacity, you know, when you're older, 80s, 90s, and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it too much can kill you. Like everyone has their own lung capacity.
Yeah.
So
I thought Vladimir just kind of gets fed up with one of us and then eats us.
Remember, we are the Archons, Cryo.
you,
Keep
you
that same
become
energy.
you become it.
Yeah, that's like
We're
those
kind of
ideas, those demons
kind of-
that you allow on board.
We're kind of
Hey,
living in
hey.
a balance between two extremes.
Yes.
Like you referred to earlier, the butterflies in your stomach. There's actually more serotonin receptors in your stomach, in your gastrointestinal, than there are in your brain.
Right,
And then
yeah,
on
most of it.
the mitochondria was a mutation that the cells came in contact with this bacteria years ago and started using it and living it with symbiosis. So it's not how we're seeing the differences in these, it's how we're using these to our benefit, right? The sameness, how we can, you look at the endo and ectomycorrhiza that go inside the cell walls of the plant and then transmit nutrients directly to the plant at the root zone. So these things can be used, you get a flood of microbiology in your system. Somebody who's not attuned to their system or attuned to getting rid of that's going to kill them, right? You breathe in too much fiberglass, you get a shot of insanitary material to all your face. Like I knew a guy who was working on a sewage pipeline, and he took the sewage pipeline to his face, so he got too much of that bacteria, which ended up killing him. So it's this kind of balance that we're living in, and to bring it back to what we were talking about earlier when you jumped in, it is these words or classifications, because I can say something, and because somebody else has this connotation of the words that I'm using, then they're going to see it in a totally different way. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily living in a certain. That doesn't mean they're necessarily living in their own world. Right. They're just creating a different perspective based on their experience.
But
Mind
that is
you, we're
their world,
Yeah,
though.
beautiful
That
said.
becomes their world. That
It's
becomes.
funny how we're
I
supposed
actually,
to.
I got to get to work, guys. I'm sorry. I real quick. I appreciate the talk and thank you for sending the Discord. I'm gonna get out of here. I got a couple hours of some needing to do in this kitchen here, but
All right,
I'll catch you guys
Master
maybe on the
Chef.
next one.
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
All right, thank you.
Oh
Man.
yeah,
Have a
thank you.
blessed day,
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah, you as well. Thank you again for the conversation.
Did y'all know the heart doesn't even beat based off the blood pumping blood? It beats off your nervous system.
Yeah. You're
It's a
sympathetic.
valve.
It's parasympathetic.
In your
Two
heart,
systems.
the neurons, actually, your heart can actually think. That's why it actually thinks faster than your.
Yes. Decision
That's
making.
why, oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, in astrology, the moon represents the heart, partly because the moon is the fastest planet outside of Mercury in this system, and it cycles so often, and it's connected to that feminine of the feelings. But go ahead.
Yeah, intuition. You're knowing without seeing.
Right,
We can breathe air, which is clear, but it sustains our life. If we saw air, then we wouldn't be able to see anything else.
That's why they say, like, women's intuition, it's like what you just said, knowing without seeing. The masculine makes it the physical. The woman is like the energy itself, in a sense.
The internal.
Yeah. Well, at least the woman is is a.
Don't tell me what I am. I'm telling you what I am. God damn it.
Well, I am you, so I can.
Well, you better listen. Listen, Linda. Listen.
I'll be quiet.
Right. You can't be a better girl than me. Don't even let's not.
He said, I'll be quiet, but as soon as I leave, I'm gonna be right back talking again.
Hey, no cap. I thought Venus was the heart, though, not Cap, and the moon. So, you know what I mean? I thought Venus was like the heart.
Earth is the heart. Hello.
Moon is water, and through water is emotion.
Yes.
Venus is the maybe
The
the environment
mind.
and feminism.
Yeah.
See, it
love
came,
stories
Earth
with
is the
it came
sacral.
right at the right time because
But it's all
Erica
kind of a
said,
loop, though.
Yeah, it
Oh, go
is.
ahead.
Erica said water is also conscious, which is
Yes,
what we're made of, literally.
yes, it is.
It's
That's why
like I
why
think
we
like the moon, the Earth is becoming the moon right now, and Venus is becoming the Earth, and
people
Mercury is becoming Jupiter. Jupiter's becoming Saturn. Everyone's doing a musical chairs act in the uni.
Well, we can tell that the Earth and the Moon are moving away from each other. At some point, women won't be able to have children the way that they're having children right now because of the cycles of the Moon.
Yep.
Find a way though.
Well, they're just
Which was
switch to
popping
a
them out
solar
like
system.
arachnids.
I'll say this. It depends on our intelligence too, because there was a thing like just like we're breathing air now. There's a story I read a long time ago, referring to like Atlantis and those type of times, where they actually breathed in something called prana. I know y'all know, or at least a few of you know about.
Yama.
that good
Yeah.
ass
Well,
prana, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
So
we
we need
are
to
breathing.
don't we like all right,
Is
we
that
went
Yama you're breathing?
using our noses and things of that nature. We evolved into that from they say forgetfulness. So that imagery again. So forgetting we could breathe through our mind and not air.
That's what
Well, prana,
Exile said.
it,
Is that air you're
prana,
breathing?
prana is the Hindu understanding of what chi is in Chinese or ki in
Right.
Japanese.
It all,
So
It's the way.
we haven't stopped breathing prana.
Right, that's true. But I think they said something along the lines of we never had to use the air. Not at least maybe this body, sure, but you know, there's more than one form on the earth. So before we evolved even into humans or however you want to look at that, there was other.
That what it said in that one book. It said, and then he breathed the breath of life into Adam.
It's actually I read that in the Flower of Life. That's the
Some
book.
people say that like we evolved from apes, and some people like the Gnostics say that apes devolved from humans, and humans are a devolved form of a being, of some hybrid type of animal or something.
Yeah, it's definitely the world is full of words.
Yeah.
So yeah, that understanding.
But that
It's full
prana
of
thing,
words. That shit full of ideas.
that prana thing, right?
Experiences.
Experiences.
It's there for everyone.
Yeah.
But depending on how you breathe, it's a different dimension as well. You know, like the Wim Hof thing.
Yeah.
That's a different. You know, people get high off of that. I get
Yeah.
high off of it. You know,
Yeah.
I go to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get high off of it and I go straight to sleep. Me, I get what's the name? I get what's it called? Like real, yeah. I get into a weird ass flow state to where I can feel everything.
Yeah.
You get that concurrent fractal.
Different ones
Yeah.
for you differently, and it's the same air, right?
Nah.
But depending
I
on
don't-
you
I
go
don't-
up a
I'm not sure.
mountain, it's different air pressures, and now you're high again, literally. and
Nobody
figuratively.
answered the question though. Is that air you're breathing?
I don't think so.
It's whatever definition. It's
Well,
by
it's whatever.
definition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's energy by definition.
Everything is everything. Here, it don't even matter if you want to name it, but I do think that
Oxidized
water.
That's not what I was talking about though. I wasn't talking about the name.
you said, can you breathe? Is that air you're breathing? And we said yeah, but then it was like I don't know because it's whatever it really is.
It's not air, but it is. But
It is air you're breathing. That was a trick question.
Exactly.
You want the other pill? I got a purple pill.
It isn't. Whatever you call it.
But it ain't. It's both, but neither. But yeah.
He said, "I got a purple. I got the purple pill." Now look.
It's like what answer is right? Come on now. What answer is wrong?
All of the above.
I don't even think these pills these days. I think
And
they
even
just
if it was
Skittles.
D, Alley Cat, it would have to be
Just-
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and other dimensional hieroglyphs we have not perceived.
I don't think it's a blue and a red pill, Theo. I think they just Skittles.
Bro,
Like,
Morpheus
taste
told
the
Neo, he said
rainbow.
he said you've never even left your room, Neo. Still in that weird ass hotel. You took some psychedelics. You were never in the hotel in the first place.
Intelligence.
That's funny.
Well,
Jamaican?
you said, yeah, what you say, Jamaica?
I said, I think the deception, the thing that's going on here, this intelligent, you know, like how everybody's so intelligent and smart. I think that's what it is. That's what's wrong.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Whole
the devil wears
vocabulary.
Prada, bro.
Can you
The
elaborate?
devil wears Prada.
The whole thing.
Blinded by the light, something so clever and so harmonic, then it
And
blinds
it's,
you
and it
from
sounds so
everything.
retarded what I'm saying, I know. But
Nah.
yeah,
It
you've
don't-
been taught you've been taught that language you're speaking, bro. You just you know what I mean? Like that's what you gotta
Or
remember.
you've infinitely not been taught, but yeah, I know what you
Can
mean.
you
Yeah, your mama and your daddy taught you. And
That's
the
the
books you've been reading.
that's the
even
infinite
know
flow,
what's going on.
man. Your shit just
Intelligence can find
flowing.
itself in any universe. You see the same
It-
shit or whatever it is. Be beyond sight,
Your
knowing
shit
beyond
just
sight.
flowing.
And no, it's not the same in any universe. They have different things going on in some universes.
That's what I'm
and
saying,
you
though. But
already know.
the one thing, there's one thing that's always the same. What I was talking about, but yeah,
That's
Because
what I
even
mean,
if
like,
you go to,
like
even
we
if
ain't
you
gonna go over there
blinded
and we
by
ain't
the
gonna
light.
see an algebraic equation written on a wall and then be
Yeah,
like,
but
oh
you still
shit, I
gonna
don't
see.
remember how to do it. And then
Yeah,
we
but
gonna
you're still
find a
gonna see an
textbook.
intelligence, though.
You gonna already yes, you gonna already
Because
know how to do it. You feel me?
beyond
So this stuff
intelligence,
we
though,
here
there's
trying to figure
intellect.
out is just to keep us in a flux, keep
Yeah,
us confused.
it's that
Beyond
infinite.
intelligence is intellect. That's the ability to
Yeah.
cultivate information.
But it's that infinite flow that you in that state and
That's
you
what we
just
are.
picking up stuff as you go. The stuff is
Yeah.
already there. It's always been there. It's in the stream. It's
Yeah,
part
just
of the
like
stream.
this God y'all talking about, he already here. And it's this, that,
Yeah,
everything
it's
y'all
whether you
talking
say
about,
it or
everything is
not.
here right now. You know,
That's
there's
why you can
nothing
say it or
coming, there's
not. It's
nothing
already
going.
there.
No
You
death,
can't.
no life, no.
On some level, we can't change
You
anything.
could,
It's already the way it is. We can
you
say
could
it or
hear,
not
you
say
could
it,
even
bro.
hear with your ears blocked off. You could see with your eyes closed. Like, come on now, what I'm
You can
saying
breathe
ain't
with
rocket
with
science.
no
You can
air.
breathe with no air. So what are we talking about? It's the
I don't know,
You
intelligence
can
that got us.
talk about it or not, though. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you talk about it or not, you could, I think, get lost in delusion if we always try to think about
Yeah,
it.
but
But
when you get
it's
lost,
not a
that's when you get.
danger.
Hey, when you get lost, that's when you get found.
Okay,
Feel
so
me?
Yeah,
so when
damned
you're
if
found,
you do,
so when
damned
you're
if you
found, you're
don't.
lost. So when you
Huh?
found, you're lost. When you're lost, you're found. So even
Either
like,
way, one way or
Yeah.
another, you're both lost and found in either sense, in either case. So it
it's
doesn't
Yeah. So
matter.
that
It
means,
does
hey,
matter, but it don't
so
matter.
what I'm saying is nobody should have questions. Is
what do
all
you
I'm
mean?
trying to say.
Yeah, but
Nobody.
At the
questions are
same
really an
time,
answer, though. At
But
the
at the
same
same
time, once you
time,
have,
Theo,
But
you
that's what I'm saying. We're not doing the little energy battle thing right now. We're just having a little conversation. You know what I
at
mean?
the
Like
s-
I don't care about being wrong,
at,
right or wrong.
at the
I'm just
same
telling you what's
time,
going on.
you
You know?
never
yeah, I'm
you
just
never
giving you my
lost.
intelligence,
You never
brother.
lost because you never
Yeah.
was found because you
Not
You
never
can't
really
lost. You
existed.
forgot. You just forgot.
exactly.
You got to
All
remember
I can
you exist.
offer is what I
You do
have.
exist.
Exactly.
You're the
I mean,
man.
what's
Yeah,
funny
well,
about this is
questioning in
you're
the
both
sense of
wrong
fear
and you're
or
right.
wonder. You could question out of fear, or you could question just out of wonder, just for that beautiful.
That's
Mhm.
And
beautiful.
sometimes you could
Hey, as
hear
soon as you pull the
a
sword
question is
out, they
really an
don't talk
answer.
no more. You feel me?
That's
Because whenever
When you pull
you
the
ask a
sword out,
question, you instantly get an answer.
that's what's beautiful about understanding, bridging the gap between right and wrong, and being right there in the middle. Because you can say, "I'm just trying to tell y'all what's going on. I'm not trying to be right or wrong," but at the same time, you're being you. Like I'm
right?
being me. Out
Right.
Theo's
So,
being.
and that's another thing. Ali Cat said everybody has a whole copy of this whole thing themselves. You are it in your world. You got your own thing going on. Everybody different. The confusion comes in is because we realize there's a bunch of mirrors here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then no,
Right.
we here trying to figure something out. It's just a mirror. Let's go in a room full of a bunch of mirrors. You be looking for yourself. You trying to figure out
Yeah,
which one
share
is
your
you.
channel on the Discord.
Right.
Uh,
But ain't that what God wanted you to
Gnostic
do?
share.
Because you're God.
Right. Exactly.
Share
So
your
you're
channel
here
right
trying
here
to
in the
not
general.
get lost.
It's like any resistance we put
You
up
said
towards something,
earlier.
we're really just entertaining it.
Like
But
it
you
ain't
said
no-
earlier that we
hey,
asking too many questions.
hey,
Share your
Ethereal.
channel in the general.
Because I needed it to get to this point, to what you just said. Sometimes you got to create confusion to get to the point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So some people don't know, but they know.
Yeah, I got you.
You needed something.
Yes, sir. Sure did.
Nothing is
I think it's
lacking
just
in
like
this
a
paradigm,
warehouse,
brother.
bro.
No.
I think it's just like a big ass fun
That
house.
was
You
the
know what I
loophole.
mean?
We
You can
found
ask
the Easter
questions.
Y'all
egg.
You can
don't know
ask
Sun
questions.
Tzu yet, man.
You don't really need to ask
Oh, we
questions, but
know.
you
We
can
know.
ask questions. It's a big ass fun experience.
I know,
You
brethren.
can just do what you want. Jump in the play pit. Oh yeah. My like that's not how you
All,
jump in the play pit.
all
What are
I
you
can
doing? You
say
want to
is
jump in this way. You know what I
we
mean? It's
found
just
the
life is
Easter
like a
eggs.
big old playhouse.
So yeah,
It's like a
Ethereal.
schoolhouse playhouse.
Ethereal, you just said it, man. So what you were
Yes, sir.
saying, you said that you're God, right? That's what you just
Yeah,
said?
Infinite
yeah, we all are. Yeah.
respect of God.
Okay.
That's why I just
And then what's the
saying
next?
so
Anybody got
man.
something to say to what he said?
To what did he say?
Yeah, I'm not a god. I am God.
Right.
Oh, I was
So
saying to your statement earlier when you said you said the problem is we asking a bunch of questions, but I'm saying that's weird to say if you know there ain't no problems.
right. But we were trying to get to this point. You understand?
Right.
So sometimes you gotta create whatever we gotta create to get to this
You
point.
were trying to get to this point, brother.
Yes, me, so I could get some
And
more
just like
insight. Yeah.
copy it,
So
we're copying it from it.
But I was
Just
like, we're
basically.
already at that point, though. The only time, because somebody hears a question and someone hears, oh, I'm lost, I'm confused, I'm hurting. Or someone could be like, someone who already knows the answer, or you just ask and that is an answer. Maybe a question is an answer and an answer is a question.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good.
Or
That's,
either way you put it.
Nice.
Because quantum entanglement, if you empty out a space, empty your mind, and it'll fill up right away. You get an answer. Whatever you get is
Yeah.
what you get, and then you can discard it,
But
try
yo,
again later.
Ethereal, there's a whole,
That's it.
you got to think of the magnetism that's going on. You got to be aware of the energies. You got to know your opposites. You got to know your this, your that. So that way you won't even get mad at people because the same energy is the only energy that messes with you in different people every single day. You know what I mean? You just got to know. You just got to know who. Right.
if you knew me personally, you know I know. I
Right.
do
But you
understand
know,
that.
so that's why when people talk, even though you know what they're really trying to get to or what they're trying to do, you don't need to get mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You love them even more.
But
So they
even
just
then, if
being, you
they've
just
been
being
trying to
them.
do the same thing, maybe they're getting to a deeper layer. Maybe the thing you thought they were doing all along was something deeper or something else. You
No,
never
but
know.
that's just you. You are at a deeper layer, Blue
I
Flame.
got something to say to what you said though, because
But I'm saying anyone has that opportunity. Anyone has that possibility.
I do
Yeah.
You never
understand.
know.
What
I
you
do
saying,
understand.
bro?
I do understand what you're saying, as far as not getting upset. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I have to take into account that death is rebirth, transformation. So even being mad is a part of the process. So it's like
Is a part of the process. Smooth transition. We got lately, bro, any little thing that throws me off or I feel like I'll get upset or what the fuck.
Yeah.
As soon as I remember, oh shit, this is it. This is the good thing. I need challenges. Then
Right.
immediately it goes away. You feel
Goes
me?
away. Goes
And
right
then you
away.
could because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the pussies, the punks or the
Yeah, because it's that
situations
fine
or whatever.
point. Like if we're having a lot of tension or suffering, it's that fine point of resistance up until that last thread when you let go and it's kind of accepting it's gone.
Yeah.
But if you have that little bit and you're in it, like resistance.
It was an enlightening conversation.
Because either way, it's like a honor to have some type of trouble to go through, really. And
Exactly.
everything's so beautiful. That's why we contrast it with everything around us, so precious and beautiful.
Because then the muscle goes weak. You feel me? You gotta
Yeah.
you're gonna forget again.
Yeah.
Somebody
But you
gotta
said
tell you.
forgetting was.
Somebody gotta tell you God again.
But you said forgetting was really finding your way. No, never mind.
No, remembering is what it is. Not forgetting. You gotta remember.
But you gotta forget. You gotta lose it to get it. Nah, it's all some shit. But you don't want to hurt yourself or go through unnecessary agony or some shit. Unnecessary anguish. In such a
Yes.
beautiful reality.
That's right, Mr. Virgo.
That's right, Mr. Virgo.
I mean, that's it. Like that's all. This is not Theo. This is not Sun. So all I'm talking to you is your energy field. You don't even exist. None of you. You feel me? That's why. That's the whole magic of this thing.
I got that Virgo rising activated.
Like I don't even know.
The whole thing with an energy field, somebody can emit an energy field, but there also has to be a receiver. And that receiver got certain receivers to transmit that energy in certain ways.
Yep. To get to what? To do what? What are you saying?
I just said it.
Keep
I just said it.
The-
To transmit the energy that
clip
it's trying to
this video
transmit.
and upload it on your
Okay,
site,
that's it.
Chef.
He said
Isn't
that's
the
it.
I don't
transmitter
know
also
what
a
else you
receiver?
want me to say. It's like you want me to say something else.
Yeah, I need you to say something because there is no
I was
end.
waiting
There's something more
for back.
magical to what you gotta say. You just probably ain't did it. I'm just giving you more credit and you
Don't you think,
deserve that.
Con, don't you think the transmitter is the receiver too?
Hey, y'all funny.
Mind
It's
matrix.
like an underline. It's like it's
No, Sun
it's
Tzu
all
is
love.
playing. No, I'm playing.
Bro, it's a circus, bro. It's like a playhouse. I'm telling you.
It's a
There you go.
psychedelic
It ain't,
circus,
bro.
man.
It's not.
But
It really ain't,
I
dog.
gotta,
No,
you're
I
right.
gotta tear out of
Con,
here,
you just
y'all. I
said
gotta
it,
go to
man.
work, man. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
back
I'm
and
out.
run the live
All
later
right.
and shit. But I'm gonna peace
It's
out
a
No,
Discord.
I'm not out though. But yeah, have a good one, True.
All right.
You could put the outfit on.
And yeah, and thank everybody else for joining. You know, we be having some intelligent talks. I think that's why a lot of times, like, I love to run Discord because it gives the viewers a chance to come in and talk. Like, you know, Gnostic Chef just jumped in and came and just, you know, brought more to the channel. More, you know, let's talk about this and what y'all think about this. I think it's that's the beauty that I like about this place and everybody that comes and joins, you know, because everybody's conversating in the chat on YouTube, and at the same time we conversating here, and it's like when you got a lot to say in the chat, man, just pop in. We'll give you the floor, and then we'll go into whatever you're talking about, you know, because everybody's out there. You're all interesting, and you're all special, and we all are, and, you know, we got a lot on our minds. So, yeah, with that being said,